Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for visiting the YouTube channel for bestbiblecommentaries.com. In this video, I have 5 new releases to show you, a couple commentaries, a couple of biblical studies, and a devotional. Before I do that, I invite you to like the video. If you do, click the thumbs up button. That helps out. Feel free to leave a nice comment down below and subscribe if you like. All right, so first up is a new release in the Word Biblical Commentary series, which has been around since the late 70s, I believe. Gone through different publishers. The Zondervan has it now, and it comes out with a new release, a replacement new release for the old Peter O'Brien volume on Colossians, and this one is by Clint Arnold. Perfect author for this volume, in my opinion. Clint Arnold is research professor of New Testament at Talbot School of Theology, Biola University in California. He's authored many books and commentaries, including Ephesians in the ZECNT series and Acts in the Zondervan Illustrated Bible Backgrounds Commentary series. I have a couple of his books on Angels and Demons in Paul, I think it is. That's not the title, but I have a couple of his books on my shelf in my systematic theology section as well. So the first thing that stands out is the size. This book is over 850 pages in length, and there's not a lot of commentaries in this series that are this size that only cover one book. Especially one that's only 4 chapters in length. There's some 2-volume ones, Genesis and Hebrews come to mind. And then the pastoral epistles comes to mind as well as being 1 volume that's about this size, but that's covering 3 books, and this is covering 1 book. The second thing that immediately stood out to me is that the first 250 pages is introduction. I do not recall a volume in this series where there's that extensive of an introduction. There's commentary volumes in other series where that is the case, but I can't think of one in Word where that is the case. The Word Biblical Commentary where that is the case. So this is the beginning of the commentary itself, beyond the introduction, and so this is page 250 here. There is. Some of you who know the Word Biblical Commentary series know the divisions of the content. So you have the bibliography, the author's translation, and the notes that usually starts each section. But the 3 major sections are typically this form, structure, setting, the comment section, and then the explanation. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the explanation section. So it's a little bit of application help. If it's not probably not application, it's just it's the beginning. You can build application from this explanation section. So anyway, that traditional format for each section is the same. However, one thing you might notice from looking at the spine here is these gray sections. I don't know if you can see that very well on the camera, but there's these gray sections, and I don't recall that in any of the Word Biblical Studies or Word Biblical Commentary series. So let me just show you some examples of those. So here's one. So it's an excursus. I do not know how to say that. A brief analysis of someone's something. There you go. So this is about, so this excursus is several pages. Okay, let's look at another one. Yeah, an excursus. Oh, look, it's in English. Filling up what is lacking in the afflictions of Christ. All right, let's look at one more. I'll just randomly turn to one here. Yay, English again. Excursus, ancient text illustrating the worship of angels. That's interesting. But there are several of these. Maybe I'm eyeballing, but maybe 8 or 10 of them. So, incredible resource. Incredible resource, exciting new volume. All right, next up from Christian Focus is part of the Mentor series, and it is called The People in Paul's Letters, a Compendium of Characters by Guy Manuel, I think is how you say his name. Let's see, he lives in Australia. They attend Bellarine Presbyterian Church. And he's actually involved in economics and international finance. The blurb's on the back, so I'm not familiar with Guy Manuel, but I'm familiar with those who blurb it, Robert Cara and Robert Yarbrough. So, but it's an excellent publisher and an excellent what do you call blurbers? Blurbers? That doesn't sound right. Blurbers. Maybe I just made that up. I made up a new term. All right, so after some introductory information, the people in Paul's letters, individual entries, the book consists of this section, mostly consists of this section here. About 300 of the 360 pages, 370 pages are this section, the people in Paul's letters. So let's flip to that. All right, so there's Apollos, and it gives some text, and the biblical text where Apollos is mentioned, background, and let's see, there's like five sections. Aquila. So this is an alphabetical listing, basically, like a dictionary of people that Paul mentions in his letters. There's Crispus. There's John. So a nice reference resource to go along with your books about the Apostle Paul's letters. Next up from Westminster John Knox is by N.T. Wright and John Goldingay, Every Day for Everyone, 365 devotions from Genesis to Revelation. So this is a devotional that's built on the Old Testament for Everyone series, which is John Goldingay's project, and the New Testament for Everyone series, which is N.T. Wright's. So 365 devotionals. So I just randomly turned to May 28th, and it covers Ezra 7 through 10, and then May 29th covers Nehemiah 1 and 2. Let's see, August 9th covers John 4, 1 through 15. August 10th covers Luke 4, 14 to 30. So here it is for your consideration. Next up from Kriegel is by Dwayne Garrett, he is professor of Old Testament at Southern Baptist Theological Seminary. And he wrote the Jeremiah and Lamentations volume in a commentary for biblical preaching and teaching series. So this is, so he continues with his work in Jeremiah. This is called Understanding Jeremiah, its setting, composition, and message. The book of Jeremiah is full of beauty and brokenness, joy and sorrow. These themes are interwoven throughout the book, often without context or introduction, which can leave the present reader without the full picture of what the passage conveys. So in this book, Garrett steps back from verse-by-verse commentary to provide a bird's-eye view of the book, giving rich background information to these prophetic writings. All right, let's look the inside. So part 1 is the historic setting. Part 2 is the structure and composition. Part 3 is the enduring message of Isaiah. So those are the 3 parts of the book. Kind of reminds me of like an introduction, maybe like an extended introduction to a commentary, and a much more thorough introduction than you might find in a study Bible. So that's Understanding Jeremiah. All All right, last one is the second volume in the Psalms portion of the Preaching the Word Commentary series. So this covers Psalms. This is the Psalms, Volume 2, Psalms 42 to 106. Rejoice, the Lord is King. This is by James Johnston. Let's see. James Johnston, PhD from Trinity Evangelical Divinity School, is senior pastor of Camelback Bible Church in Paradise Valley, Arizona. He has led workshops on expository preaching for over 15 years as an instructor for the Charles Simeon Trust. He and his wife Lisa have 4 children. All right. So if you're familiar with the Preaching the Word Commentary series, then you know that this is based on sermons. This series is very helpful for pastors, for Bible study leaders, small group leaders going through the Psalms. The author has preached through these passages himself, which is the basis for the commentary. So if you're looking for sermon help in particular, this series is very helpful. So it's just a pretty standard format for this series. Looks like each section, and in this case, it's just divided by the chapters of the Psalms. Looks like they're about 10 pages each. So this is an excellent series for lay people and pastors. Not as much for academics. All right. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.